Hello and welcome to the Scatterful channel, and today I'm going to be ranking the best and worst PC cases you can buy in 2024. Correction, in 2025, because this video took a really long time to make, but that still doesn't change my eventual rankings at the end of this tier list video, even in 2025. So there are a ton of PC cases out there, so much so that you may feel overwhelmed if you're a first-time PC builder or someone who's getting back into the PC building scene and you just really don't know which PC cases out there are really good for their price and which ones you should pretty much avoid because they're overpriced or they're really lacking in certain features. So the goal of this tier list is that I'm going to be ranking 90 of the most popular PC cases from many different brands in this tier list, from S tier to F tier. And spoiler alert, if you go with at least a C tier or above PC case in this tier list, you're gonna be fine. You're really gonna be fine. And if you already have a PC case in this tier list that's like D tier and above, don't sweat it. You don't have to instantly replace it like a bad power supply. PC cases just serve to house all of the components in your PC case. The only thing that can really go wrong is if there's not enough airflow in getting to your primary components, like your graphics card and processor. So that said, I'm going to be linking all of the best PC cases I recommend throughout this tier list in the description below if you want to check any of them out. And let's say you wanted to build a PC around any of those PC cases and you didn't want to find all the parts yourself, then I have a really cool website called PCBuilds.gg that has the best PCs you can build across different budgets and different features and uses. And it's a really cool website if you just want to find the best build list for a certain budget. So I'll have that linked in the description below, along with all of these recommended PC cases. All right, let's set some ground rules for this tier list video because, as you can probably guess, there are way more than 90 PC cases out there. So I am gonna put a price limit on this tier list. So I'm not going to be including any PC cases that retail above 120 US dollars. That means I'm excluding some popular PC cases like the NZXT H7 Flow, the New Haven case, the Fractal Design North, the Antec Flux Pro, any of the super high-end Thermaltake, Cooler Master, Phanteks cases, you guessed it, pretty much any of those super high-end PC cases because they're already S tier. They already fulfill the grading criteria that I'm going to be setting throughout this tier list video. So if you're wondering why maybe a certain high-end PC case that you're looking into isn't on this tier list, odds are it's already S tier. Congrats. If you're spending at least 120 US dollars, the case itself should pretty much fit all the grading criteria that I'm looking for throughout this tier list. So congrats. That said, I know a lot of people are gonna just skip to the end and completely skip that over, so I wanna say it now. Second rule, if there's a PC case that costs $100 to 120 bucks but doesn't come with any pre-included case fans, then I'm also excluding that because even if there are no case fans, if you add in at least a 3-pack of ARGB fans or even standard fans, the price comes out to just above 120 US dollars, disqualifying it from this tier list. So that does exclude some popular PC cases like the fanless Montech King 95 Pro, the recently released Lian Li Lancool Compact, 011 Vision Compact, and even cases like the Phanteks NV5. Those cases are also S tier cases. Once you put at least 3 fans in them, probably. 3 fans that are at least high quality. So again, if you're spending a lot of money on a PC case, don't worry about it. Don't sweat it. It's already gonna be a really fantastic PC case. The goal of this tier list is to highlight everyone else who can't spend a lot of money on a PC case and want something that's going to give them the best bang for their buck, and again, which ones to avoid to make sure you're not wasting your money. So what are the grading criteria that I'm gonna be using to rank all of these PC cases? Well, in my head, I think I've got either 5 or 6, so let's go in order. First up and most important is the airflow. How much airflow can be pushed into the PC case to your graphics card and processor? This is probably the most important part and arguably the most important part of a PC case in general, because you obviously want airflow to your components so they stay cool, because if they overheat, then they could possibly degrade in performance over time, or worse, fail. So airflow is the #1 thing we're looking for, and secondly to that is the amount of pre-included case fans. Now this, I'm not gonna give a whole ton of weight to depending on the price, unless it's something really embarrassing like a $100 PC case that only comes with 1 pre-included fan, where other PC cases in its price range do come with more than 1. So unless it's that, This is not too heavy, but I am looking at least for some more pre-included case fans in each of these PC cases because that also saves on budget when choosing a PC case. Also, better yet, some of those cases could come with pre-included fan controllers on the back, which sweetens the deal even more. Now, the third thing I'm looking out for is USB Type-C support because it's 2024. If you're building at least an AM5 based gaming PC or a new Intel Core Ultra gaming PC, pretty much every motherboard on those platforms, even the entry-level ones like a B650 motherboard, is going to have an onboard USB Type-C header on that motherboard. And you probably don't want to choose a case that doesn't have a Type-C header on the front because that'd be a little bit embarrassing and not a great use of that motherboard. The only scenario where this doesn't really matter a whole lot is if you're building an older gaming PC, like on the AM4 socket, but keeping in mind future-proofing and having a case that'll hopefully last you a long time, we probably want a PC case with a Type-C header on it just because that is a nice thing to have. Even if you're on an older platform now, a newer one you might upgrade to is probably gonna have a Type-C connector on it, so we wanna have a PC case with a Type-C header on it. Fourth is build quality. I like a PC case that is built nice and kind of heavy. And to be fair, grading this is going to be subjective because obviously I don't have first-hand experience with all of these PC cases, but I do at least have some experience on quite a few cases that are included in this tier list. And I've been with different brands at different trade shows, kind of already touching and feeling their PC cases in person. And I kind of know which brands stand where based off of their build quality, off of their models and their history. That said, a really good way to actually kind of objectively grade build quality is how expensive the PC case is. The more expensive it is, the better built it's gonna be. So that's a good way to grade that. But that said, there's a few PC cases on here that have really good build quality for a surprising price. And I'm definitely gonna try to highlight those throughout the tier list. Fifth is going to be graphics card length support because I don't want you to run into a scenario where you can only build a budget gaming PC now with a small case, but let's say your revenue or your salary goes up and you want to buy the latest and greatest super big long graphics card. Well, now your PC case is too small to hold it. And you have to get a whole new PC case, rebuild your entire PC in this new PC case. So why not just eliminate the hassle, get a PC case from the start that can support long graphics cards to ensure future-proofing for future graphics card upgrades. And plus, that saves on buying additional PC cases that potentially reduce the need to maybe throw them away if you don't need them anymore, because that's potential e-waste. So let's just get a case that can support long graphics cards so it can be as future-proof as possible so you don't have to replace it. And I think that's about it for my 5 main grading criteria, but I am going to give some bonus points throughout this tier list. There's certain PC cases that stand out, like if their fans, say for example, aren't proprietary, so they are just standard 4-pin PWM fans with like a 3-pin ARGB header. Those I really like because they're non-proprietary, so those will get some bonus points, and even more if they come with a pre-included fan controller on the back. Also, if a PC case serves a unique purpose that is unique to that case versus others that could be useful, say if you're on a budget, I'll also be highlighting those. And I'll even give bonus points to PC cases that don't just come in black or white, they come in different colors because black and white can get boring at times. So there's a lot of things that'll be going through my head, and I'll do my best to rank all these PC cases, which once again, all of them will be linked in the description down below if you want to check any of them out. Or at least the good ones will. I won't include the bad ones. With all of that exposition out of the way, let's get started with the tier list, starting with our first PC case we're gonna rank. And all I gotta say is, if you like tier list videos, subscribe. Yes, I'm really gonna ask for a subscription right now before we start because these take a super long time to make and they take a super long time to edit and post to YouTube. So yeah, if you wanna see more tier list videos, a subscription would be nice because that means we should make more of them. So how I'm gonna go about this is that I'm gonna go ahead and actually start with a really good PC case first because it's more or less gonna set as a benchmark for the rest of this case tier list video. That's kind of a reference to judge the rest of the PC cases to that one. And the case I'm going to go ahead and designate that title to right now is the recently released and brand new Lian Li 205. Oh my God, no, that is the wrong one. The Lian Li Lancool 207. This is an ATX PC case that just came out, and already it is looking like an S tier case, and let me tell you why. So on paper, if you look at this PC case and you look at its benchmarks, it is throwing hands with PC cases that cost way more than it when it comes to CPU and GPU thermals. In fact, it is able to keep up with PC cases that cost as much as like $160 and $120, which is very impressive. And whenever I saw this PC case firsthand at Computex, I knew it was gonna be something special, because what makes this thing unique right off the bat is its front-loaded power supply. So right here is where the power supply will go if you were to insert it into the Lancool 207. And what that allows you to do is that it then allows for two 120mm fans to go right underneath your graphics card, delivering fresh airflow directly to that graphics card without any impedance. Because the power supply is over here to the right, and your graphics card is going to be on the left side on the interior in your PC case. See what I mean? So this is something really unique just to the Lancool 207 that I've seen in this price range. And once again, if you want to see the benchmarks, Gamers Nexus did a really excellent benchmark video on this PC case, and just about the only drawback it potentially has is that here in the back side of the PC case, the space between the motherboard tray and the rear back panel is really small, so cable management could be potentially an issue if you have cable extensions for your power supply cables. But if you have a standard power supply that doesn't have any special power supply extension cables, or if they're not too thick of braided cables, you will be fine, because I think the sheer cooling performance of the Lancool 207 is too good to pass up for $80. And once again, it's long enough for future graphics card upgrades. It can even support vertical GPU mounts, I guess. But more importantly, it's just a really excellent value for $80 that delivers best-in-class cooling performance. And for that reason, it's gonna kick things off going up to S tier. This is gonna be the benchmark PC case. Now let's go ahead and rank all 89 of the others. Let's do this. All right, Antec C3. Okay, so unfortunately, this case is also a pretty good value, and people are already catching up to it because it's currently kind of out of stock. But this case does retail for about $90 and comes with 4 pre-included ARGB fans. This style of PC case is one I can get behind because it kind of cuts off the PSU shroud halfway and allows for additional space down here for another case fan for extra airflow. I do like that. But also with these Antec cases, I've noticed the brand in itself is making a little bit of a comeback, and this for about $90, I'm telling you right now, based off the rest of this tier list, is a pretty solid value. And it pretty much checks off all the boxes that I'm looking for. And it is $90, comes with 4 pre-included case fans. It does look nice, the build quality is there, and I believe cooling performance will also be there for the C3. And it just came out as well, so I'm pretty confident in its ranking. I'm gonna go ahead and put this in A tier. It's a decently good value for under $100. Now the Antec C5, it's pretty much a beefed up version of the C3, and if we were to look closer into this PC case, it is currently about $120, so it's just at the price limit for this tier list. However, it comes with 7 pre-included ARGB fans. That's in some ways as good of a value as the case we just covered with only 4 included case fans. So you will not need any more case fans, and I believe these from Antec aren't gonna be cheap. I think they're gonna be decent, but also check this out. It's also a Project Zero compatible PC case, whereas the older C3 wasn't. This is also the traditional fish tank style PC case. It looks like there's a good amount of perforated mesh on all sides of this PC case. For $120, this is low-key giving the Montech King 95 Pro a run for its money for like 30 bucks less. And I'm also confident that the build quality will be there. So this case, I think just because it's Project Zero compatible, oh yeah, by the way, fan controller down there, even it's about $30 more, I think makes this a better value PC case than the C3 just because it's that much more complete, and it's also a bit more grandiose, I think. So I'm gonna put it alongside this C3, and I'm gonna put it ahead. That extra case fan, the extra 2 case fans, Project Zero compatibility, and the included fan controller is really nice for 120 bucks. Oh, but the Antec, oh. Okay, so this is one of Antec's older PC cases. So this is what I meant when Antec was making a comeback. Because I remember purchasing this PC case 3 years ago for a budget gaming PC build, and I thought at the time it was decent because it came with 2 front ARGB fans with a third in the back. But for $75, even with this $10 off promo code, I'm letting you know it's got bad build quality. It's cheap. It's like, you can throw the thing up in the air and it's gonna keep going up. That's all I'm gonna say. And there are much better built PC cases than this, but just keep in mind, this case is like 3 years old, maybe 4. So it's an older PC case, but unfortunately it is gonna fall down a bit in these rankings. I'm giving this an E tier actually. That might be a little bit harsh, but you know, when we get to the tier list, we'll see if it really belongs there, but the build quality is not there. And there's way better PC cases than this for 75 bucks. Ooh, but the Antec P20C, I almost got this PC case for a build video, but I think what kind of upset me were the fans actually. So you have the regular P20C here that is $90 that comes with 3 front non-ARGB fans. That's a little bit overpriced if I'm being honest with you. And the ARGB version of this PC case, which does look a bit nicer with those front fans being ARGB at 110, that's not the most terrific either. I mean, it really just needs one more PC case fan in the back. I mean, for 110, Antec's own offerings are gonna be better than this, which is a little bit embarrassing, I think. So the P20C, it's fine, it's just overpriced. That's the issue, it's overpriced. So the P20C is going in C tier. But the Antec Flux. Okay, let's take a quick look at this one. The Antec Flux is about $120, does come with a $10 off promo code though right now, which makes it an even better value. And what's outstanding about this PC case is that it comes with 5 pre-included PWM fans. Now, I don't think any of them are ARGB, unfortunately. So in terms of looks, on one hand, they don't look as flashy as the C5 or the C3 that we just covered, but if you're into that minimal aesthetic, which I think Antec is definitely playing into because you can see the wood on here, this is real wood. And if you're someone who's more performance oriented over say sheer like RGB barf in your PC case, then that's where I think the Flux does make a bit of an argument for its $110 price tag. And what we do know is that the Flux Pro, which is not on this tier list because it's already an S tier case, offers the best in-class thermals right now. And I like to think that the Flux is basically a downscaled version of that PC case with the same sort of DNA. So I think in terms of cooling performance, this is going to be really spectacular. I mean, it's got 5 PWM fans, and this is in a pretty optimal fan layout with some really nice perforated mesh, not just on the front panel, but also even down here where the power supply is. And to top it off, there's your pre-included fan controller there up at the top. I know some of you guys may disagree with me on this because you know the C5 came with 7 fans, but thermally the Flux is gonna beat the C5 just through the case design alone. And for $110 to $120, I'd get it over the C5. I'm throwing this thing in S tier alongside the Lancool 207. It's a really outstanding ATX mid-tower PC case. So, like I said, the NX410 was kind of upsetting because it's an older Antec case, overpriced, poorly built. The NX200M kind of follows in the same trajectory. I'm not gonna pull it up because I already know the issue with it. It's way too small. It is way too narrow. If you put in any graphics card that is above 275 millimeters, then it's going to exceed the length of the NX200M and immediately make it void for any real future graphics card upgrades. Yeah, it's 60 bucks, but also it doesn't come with a Type-C connector, so it's outdated. Antec, you need to make this case a little bit longer, put it on USB Type-C, and maybe spice in some of the really good goodies here in the Flux, just in a cheaper micro ATX case. But otherwise, I'm putting the NX200M. Oh, I'm gonna put it in E tier as well. Antec has some really good cases and some not so great cases. Their latest ones are really great, but their older ones, I don't know. Okay, Apevia Prism. We gotta look up this case. we gotta do it. Okay, so this is the first of what I like to call the cheap fish tank PC cases, because this is 80 bucks. Does come with 5 pre-included case fans, which is, you know, kind of neat. And it does come in more colors than just black and white. It does come in pink, so I will give it that. But one thing I've noticed with a lot of these cheaper fish tank style PC cases is that the build quality is not substantive. It's pretty lightweight. I don't know completely if this kind of design here is gonna hold up over time, because something you've noticed with some of these cases is that they've reinforced this pillar right here because they really want that dual glass design. And I don't know if this cheaper Apevia case kind of fixes that. So, I mean, for 80 bucks, build quality is the main concern with this PC case, thermals aside, because I don't know how high quality these case fans are. So I'm gonna be a bit speculative on the ranking for this case. Also, it doesn't have any Type-C headers on it, I think, which might really hurt the ranking of this PC case. Yeah, there's no Type-C, that's not good. This thing, it is overpriced, but it's not, I think I'm gonna throw this in D tier. Yeah, I'm gonna throw that in D tier. I mean, it has 5 case fans. It is a fish tank style PC case. It does come with multiple colors, but there's no Type-C, and the build quality may be a concern, and it is a bit overpriced. Oh, we're back to Antec. I forgot. We have the Antec DF series of Flux cases. Let's quickly run through these. All right, DF800 Flux for $100 with 5 included fans. That is fine on paper. I just wonder how efficient this front panel is. I know it's going for this prism style look, but I'm only looking at the perforated mesh here, and I'm just concerned with how much airflow is gonna go into the front of the PC case here. Also, the 2 rear fans are not RGB, and for a case like this, I feel like they should be RGB, especially in comparison to the Antec C5 and the C3 that we just covered. So I mean, it's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this thing probably in C tier for the moment, below the P20C. No, I'm gonna throw it above because it is a better value. It comes with more case fans, yeah. DF700 Flux, what about this one? So for $10 less, we also get 5 included case fans. I don't like these photos where all of like the system is populated. I just wanna see what case fans are included. So I assume 3 at the front, 1 on the bottom, and 1 on the rear. This is better because the front panel here, that is all perforated mesh. This looks more standard. It's also cheaper than the DF800. This one is gonna get a better ranking from me. I think I'm gonna throw this thing in B tier just because it has a lot of case fans, and I think it's gonna do a good enough job. Of the DF600 Flux, I saw this case coming from miles away, but this glass front right here is not optimal. It is in fact suboptimal for cooling. Although it does come with 5 case fans, but having a glass front PC case in 2024 is so not there right now. We want perforated mesh in the front ideally, unless you want to go with a fish tank style PC case, which in that case you can go with dual glass and get some airflow from the back side of the PC case, but that is not the case for the DF600 Flux, even at 75 bucks. So I think I'm gonna throw this, I maybe, for the moment, below the P20C. That glass front is really turning me off for airflow. But now we're on to Asus, and the Asus A21 is like the ultimate Greek tragedy. For $65, you're like, wow, this case looks like it's it. This looks like it's him. Because for that price, you're getting some very fine perforated mesh here on the front panel. It's like there's almost no interruptions right now, but there's 2 big turnoffs for this PC case. Number 1, no pre-included case fans, which if you're throwing at least a 3-pack would bring this to about $95. Maybe that could be a bit of a turnoff, but even more of a turnoff because Asus, you guys released this case this year. This is a 2024 PC case. And you see that little Type-C thing? That isn't Type-C. That's actually not a Type-C header. If we check out the specs, this only has 2 standard USB headers. No Type-C. Asus, this case could have been it. It looks really nice, but you need to throw in at least 3 included face fans, and you had to have included a Type-C header. I can see one right there on the top left. You guys just chose not to include it because you wanted to save money. Not good, not good. This is not a ready case at $65. This is going at the bottom of E tier. Asus AP201. I've got a history with this PC case. I've made 2 high-end PC case builds with it. One of them was my own, and it's a solid case. I just got one gripe with it. And I will say there's a case that is very similar to this that definitely beat it for even less money, but I'll quickly highlight that. This case does everything you want it to do for a compact, high airflow micro ATX case. Just design-wise, Having the IO on the top here actually had some complications because this takes away from top radiator support. Now you can get away with like a 360 millimeter water cooler in the top of this PC case, but to do that, you have to remove the power supply mount and mount the power supply with zip ties just so the tubes can kind of fit, and it's a little bit embarrassing. And another case will eventually rank fixes this issue for less, but that's the only real issue with the AP201. Otherwise, it's still a decent PC case. And let's see, I don't think it comes with any fans. I don't think it does. That's okay though. For this kind of PC case, I'll let it slide. I'm gonna throw this thing in B tier below the DF700 Flux. BeQuiet Pure Base 500DX. This one's gonna be a tough one to rank, and I know some of you guys may not like me for this ranking, but let me explain myself. BeQuiet is a cool PC case brand. And here they have, right now, their 500DX for $95. BeQuiet is mostly known for their higher end PC cases, and every now and then they do make a nice mid-range PC case, but the Pure Base 500DX has been out for a while. But fortunately, what I will give BeQuiet credit for is that it does have USB Type-C on here. With 3 included case fans, it's all right. Because BeQuiet do make some solid PC cases, but as you can see in the tier list, if we go back to it, for $90, you're looking at the C5, you're looking at the C3, you're looking at the Lancool 207, even the DF700 Flux. That is some stiff competition with more case fans and admittedly a newer design. So I'm gonna put this probably right here, just below the P20C. Yeah, BeQuiet needs to update this PC case, do something really cool and revolutionary with it, like what Lian Li have done. Oh, now we're on to some cheap Bitfenix cases. So I can go ahead and knock these out right now. The Bitfenix Nova Mesh Micro ATX got a previous S tier ranking in my last tier list for cases, but this year there's no onboard USB Type-C. It retails for $60, but it does come with 3 included ARGB fans with a fan controller on the back. So it does everything right other than build quality and that there's no Type-C. But still, that makes it a pretty good value for budget PC gamers who may be building on like with an older AM4 system that doesn't have a Type-C header on it. So given its price, I'll definitely let it slide. And it does come with some nice fans and an RGB controller with fans and an ARGB and fan controller, my bad. So I think I'm gonna throw this thing right now at the top of D tier. I think I'll leave it right there because for spending an extra 20 bucks, again, you can get the Lancool 207, which is substantially better. What about the Nova Mesh SE? So this is a bigger version of the Mesh. It does retail for more. It's kind of the same formula, doesn't have an onboard Type-C header, but it technically delivers 4 ARGB fans with a fan and ARGB controller for 70 bucks. That's decent airflow, might be nice for older AM4 systems. Just because it's bigger, but it does cost $10 more. It does come with an extra case fan. I'm gonna throw this above. Yeah, I'll keep it right there. For 70 bucks, it's not the most appealing, but I'll keep it there for now. But the Graph 4 Mesh, the Graph Mesh 4, this is a case I haven't seen from Bitfenix. I assume it's newer, so I assume the build quality is better than their Nova Mesh cases. This does come with 4 pre-included ARGB fans. In this case, I think retails for $60, so the same price as the Bitfenix Nova Mesh Micro ATX. It is bigger. I guess on paper it's better. I don't know if I would move it up the C tier just yet. I think I will, but I'm gonna throw this probably no higher than the DF600 Flux. Actually, I'm probably gonna throw it below because there's no USB Type-C header on it, but I think a decent standard ATX PC case that comes with 4 pre-included ARGB fans with a fan controller at 60 bucks, that's a pretty decent value if you're building an older PC. Okay, so Bgears. This is a PC brand that pops up on my Amazon feed if I'm looking for budget PC cases. They're a little bit goofy because I've seen cases like the Bgears that sold a ton, but like, look, how's that thing gonna get airflow? It's not. And this thing is so 2019, like that case is not updated. Now this one, the b-Pellucid, we'll be taking a look at this, but there's also the b-Vigor. Again, I don't know how you're gonna get airflow in there. And the pre-included case fans look so out of like 2020. They look cheap, just like these other two. This one, nope. That ain't helping thermals. Yeah, so Bgears in general, maybe other than this PC case, but again, I'm a little bit weary. Actually, no, this has fans sold separately. Oh, these all say fans sold separately. Ooh, that, I mean, the cases themselves are still not fantastic. So overall for the brand, I'm gonna have to rank them lowly, but we will go ahead and rank this case because it is selling a bit according to the Amazon bestsellers chart. So again, I don't like how there's deceptive marketing here where it shows a lot of case fans and a fully built system, but here it says fans sold separately. And I mean, on one hand, sure, you can choose your own case fans, but again, this could be one of those cheap fish tank style PC cases that may not have the best pillar support here. They also probably will feel cheap. And I mean, technically this kind of is like where the Apevia case is, if I'm being honest, because if you throw a 3-pack of fans, it's gonna retail for about that same price. So I think if we go back to the tier list here, for Bgears, the brand in general, a lot of their cases I feel like are still stuck in 2020. So I'm gonna throw them in F tier right now, but as far as the b-Pellucid go, because it is somewhat of a popular budget fish tank style PC case, I think this is gonna go around where the Prism is, but I'm gonna put it below it because there's no pre-included ARGB fans, unlike the Prism. Oh, finally on to Cooler Master. We got a lot of them. All right, N200. F tier. No, it's old. It's old. It's old, man. Okay, Cooler Master NR200 V1. This case could have been like, it could have been S tier, A tier potentially, because if you look at its current price right now on Amazon, or actually we'll do Newegg, the NR200 with a $20 off promo code is gonna retail for about $65, and on Amazon, it's $75. That's extremely good. If you're building an ITX gaming PC, the NR200 offers so much flexibility and interesting design to where it'll handle a lot of ITX systems. In fact, I used the NR2P100 Max as my own personal gaming PC for a while, and it did the job. Only thing, there's no onboard USB Type-C, which is the only downside to this PC case. And again, it's 2024. If you're building an ITX system, you're gonna want USB Type-C. So for that reason, it unfortunately tanks this case a little bit, but there's still so much going for it that I am gonna give it somewhat of a decent rating because the price is a bit too good right now. I'm probably gonna put this just below the DF800 Flux and above the P20C. And then here we have the Cooler Master NR200 V2. So this is an interesting scenario because the NR2P100 takes one step forward, but also one step back. So on one hand, it fixes that only issue of having no USB Type-C support. This has it on the case. And one thing I do like about this case is that it did do a better job for supporting longer graphics cards, which in a way kind of goes with one of my grading criteria of supporting longer graphics cards in these PC cases. But to do that, you could only use this in a vertical GPU layout. There is no horizontal one. So I think, I want to say I'm unsure if there's a PCIe riser cable that is included with the NR200. I think there should be one. Yeah, there's one. Okay, that's decent. So because it's a vertical, yes, you could use glass, but that's really gonna hurt the thermal. So you probably only want to use the mesh here. And it does cost more, although it's only about $107. Whereas the original, you had a lot more flexibility when it came to interior cooling. Like you could do some really interesting layouts with air cooling or water cooling, where I wanna say the new NR200, I think that might just be restricted to water cooling because of that vertical GPU mount. So I think off of sheer grading criteria, I am gonna have to give the slight nod to the NR200 V2, but only slight, just because it has USB Type-C and supports longer graphics cards. But the original NR200 offers a ton of flexibility and modding as well. Ooh, Cooler Master Q300L. Let's look at the price at this one because, boy, the Q300L is getting dirt cheap right now. This case has been out for like 7 years. It now retails for $38, and I built in it recently, as much as like short as 1 year ago. I built in this PC case. It's still okay. Yeah, it's cheap. Yeah, you can throw it in the air and it's just gonna keep going up, but it works. And for $38, I mean, yes, this may not look like the most thermally efficient PC case, but if you throw in some case fans, some really good ones, it's gonna quickly shoot out any of that hot air and bring in fresh air, I think decently well, even if there isn't a power supply shroud here. I think about the only con is your possible graphics card length support. This is a bit of a narrower PC case, but I don't think it's too narrow actually. Yeah, it can go up to about, I wanna say, a 360mm GPU in length. That's actually not too bad. For $38, it's still a very capable PC case. Just keep in mind, it's older, there's no PSU shroud, its build quality is not the best, and there's no USB Type-C. But the price is so good, guys. This is gonna have to go in B tier, probably just above the, I'm gonna put this probably above both of these PC cases. The Q300L is just so cheap. It's a really good deal. But now the Q300L version 2, we quickly need to cover this PC case because I have also used this PC case. And the best thing I like about it, and I'll say this right now, this is the best built PC case for under $60. Straight up. I've not felt a better and more sturdy PC case and more premium feeling case, even down to unscrewing and screwing in this side tempered glass panel here for under $60. I think just about the only issue with it is that it comes with one included case fan in the back, which there's other PC cases for this price that come with more. And I think airflow, again, kind of like the original Q300, it's not the greatest, but it'll definitely work. But also for being a 2024 PC case, there is no power supply shroud. So if you wanted to go with, say, a power supply that is fully modular, all of these cables are gonna be sticking out here. But if you go with one that is non-modular, all of those can actually be tucked away in the rear of the PC case, but that's more oriented to budget PC gamers, so I think that's not too much of a deal breaker. But the build quality is really nice, so I am gonna have to give this a decent ranking because it is a bit abnormal for its build quality for 60 bucks. I'm gonna have to throw this in B tier, probably right there, just below the DF800 Flux. The Cooler Master Qube 500. This is a novelty PC case, and I also built in this PC case not too long ago. Earlier this year, actually, for one of my $1,500 PC builds. I liked actually putting the case together. And one interesting thing you'll note is that it is only about $80 because it comes in, I've got it right here actually. I can show you the Qube 500 right now, no joke. It comes in one of these. It comes in a box that is all laid out, and having it in something small like this versus coming in a full PC case box reduces shipping costs, which allows the Qube 500 to again retail for only about $80. And I think of all the PC cases in this tier list, this one might offer the most functionality for its price. There's a lot of different cooling configurations you could rock in this PC case for ultimate flexibility. Maybe just about the only thing I could give it a small nitpick on is that the power supply is gonna go right here with the fan facing the outside, and cooling wise, that isn't the most optimal, but it's still not bad. And I think the sheer functionality you're given with the Qube 500 with its surprisingly good price tag makes it also kind of a decent option. So this one's also gonna be a B tier PC case, and I think I'm gonna throw this, yeah, I'm gonna put this just below the Q300. The Q300L is a really cheap PC case that gets a lot of things done. And that's kind of the same case with the Qube 500. It just thermally doesn't perform as well as maybe the DF700 Flux, but the sheer functionality you get and the price is pretty nice. And if you were to fully rig out this case, I think you're gonna be set. Also, you get to build the case from the ground up. It's a cool experience. Okay, we're almost done ranking Cooler Master. We have the Cooler Master Masterbox 600. I already checked out this PC case. Let me give you the rundown. It's about $95, comes with 4 pre-included ARGB fans with a fan controller on the back, but what makes the Masterbox 600 cool for its price is that it does support Project Zero motherboards with connectors on the rear of the panel, rear of the motherboard. So I think this one, this is gonna be B tier, and I think it's a pretty complete ATX mid-tower with 4 fans that has all the functionality you'd want. And it actually isn't too overpriced, surprisingly, coming from Cooler Master. So, and the build quality I'm pretty sure is gonna be there. It's a Cooler Master case, so the pre-included fans are gonna be, I think, a step up versus some other cases we'll be comparing throughout this tier list. So I think it does belong at the top of B tier. Now for the TD Mesh V2, it costs about the same as the Masterbox 600, but it comes with 1 less fan, and that's it. That's it. Also, it comes in white, so I guess there's that. But I think it not having that one extra case fan might hurt it a little bit, but the TD500 Mesh V2 is a solid performing case thermally, so I will have to give it that. I think I might have to throw this, I think I'm gonna put it right there. That may not make sense. I could be overrating the Masterbox, but the Masterbox looks nice for its price, whereas the TD500 Mesh V2, this will deliver thermally, but I think it's missing just a few things versus the Masterbox 600. Whereas the DF800 Flux does come with more pre-included fans for about the same price versus this. But the cooler Master HAF 500, let's quickly look at this PC case. The HAF series has been around for a while. Ever since I started YouTube, and it's followed the same formula. It has always been the same. Two really big 200mm fans in the front. But what I like about this HAF 500 is that it's gone one step further and included an additional little 120mm fan just below your graphics card for just that extra bit of thermal performance. I like that. And it's $100. This might have probably, in terms of sheer airflow going through the PC case, this is probably the best of this entire tier list. And for $100, there are other PC cases that are also highly regarded in terms of airflow that don't have this extreme of a fan setup. And at the end of the day, it's a cooler master case. It's built well. It's got some above average fans. And one other thing, I don't know if my eyes are deceiving me, but are those two 3.5-inch hard drive bays right there that are accessible from the bottom of the PC case? I don't know how much that gets in the way of airflow, but that's kind of neat. So if you did want to throw in some hard drives into this PC case, you totally can. And I don't want to say it's going to interrupt airflow too much. So given the $100 price tag, it meets all the criteria, but it kind of hits that zone of having a lot of airflow for its price, kind of like the Lancool 207 and the Antec Flux, that it's gonna get an S tier ranking from me. I'm gonna throw this right in between both of these PC cases. This offers just a ton of airflow. It's a really great all-around ATX PC case. I'm sure of it because the HAF series has been known for that. It's gonna be a great thermal performer for its price. Oh, now we're on to Corsair cases. Let's rank these. Corsair 2000D. Let's take a quick look at this PC case because guess what? It's on a discount, like a really good discount. And you know what happens when Corsair discounts a PC case? That means it's not selling well because Corsair never discount their PC cases to like this much. Yeah, so you can get this in many different ways for very good prices. I think in all objectivity, my bad. For $70, this is, I think, a really good ITX PC case given its price. If this were above $100, I would be weary because I think there's other ITX cases that are a bit better in terms of thermal performance and practicality. But given its discounted price right now, I think the only thing you really gotta watch out for is the 360mm AIO that's gonna go here on the front. Because I had a PC case similar to this one in the past where it was a Tower ITX case and I had to squash the 360mm AIO to all of my components so it could all fit to my ITX motherboard. And I think the Corsair case here does a better job than that case, but I think you are kind of limited to your AIO options. You got to choose one that has really flexible cables. Otherwise, look at all of that perforated mesh that you have at your disposal for airflow, and this is going to have some decent build quality. And look at all that IO at the bottom, just nice and handy at your disposal. For $70, this is a really good value right now, but given its discount, I don't know if that'll hold. So, I mean, right now it's looking like a B or A tier case, but if we remove the discount, functionally, this is going to be a C tier case. I want to say probably here near the bottom. Oh wait, sorry, that's not C tier, that's B tier. I think I'm gonna throw this right here. I think that's where the 2000D belongs. But with this discount right now, I think it would be a B tier. I don't know how long that'll hold though. But now what about the Corsair 3000D? What is this one gonna do? Well, for $85, there's two things that aren't going for this PC case. Although it's back ordered, I don't know why people are ordering this PC case because there's kind of like 2.5 flaws with this PC case. First and foremost, Corsair performed the cardinal sin of not giving this PC case an onboard USB Type-C header, which is so not Corsair. This should have had a Type-C header. Secondly, the included case fans, especially in comparison to other PC cases around it, is really lackluster. Having two non-ARGB fans stock is not that impressive. And I think the only other thing that could be possibly concerning is maybe build quality, because the original Corsair 4000D that this case is grabbing some bit from had really excellent build quality, but I don't know if the 3000D quite lives up to that. As you can see, there's no case grommets here. Cable grommets for your power supply cable. It's just open and exposed for $85, which is, it doesn't feel that premium, I wanna say. So this case, it's overpriced. It's definitely lacking some things. It's not gonna get that fantastic of a rating from me. This is going in D tier. Yeah, $85 is way too much. This should be $60. It really should be. Okay, Corsair 4000D. This case we can look back on a little bit more fondly. It is $100 right now, but I have routinely seen this case for like $80 to $90. So I know this is gonna go on a discount. It's usually always on a discount. And I think although this case is a bit old, the most memorable thing I remember is the build quality. This case is about 4 years old and its build quality is still really good, even in 2024. And fortunately, this does come with onboard USB Type-C. I don't think I can quite show it, but also, unlike the 3000D, look at that interior. I wanna say this is more premium feeling than the 3000D, and also check out the rear. I don't think the 3000D has this, but check out those included cable routing straps you can use to strap down your power supply cables and front IO cables. And I mean, this case, it's held up pretty well over the years, but it is getting a bit old and its price is a bit high. So this is gonna be a C tier case. It's just a matter of where I put it. I think right there. I think I would take the BeQuiet case just because it looks a little bit cooler. Yeah, and it probably has, yeah, the shadow fans that are included are better than the Corsair ones here. All right, I'll keep it there. All right, let's keep going. Corsair 3500X. So on paper, I think this case is all right. I mean, it's got 3 included ARGB fans, and these ones do look somewhat high quality because they are RS120 fans, which is better than having some boring stock fans like what we just saw earlier from the Corsair 4000D or even the 3000D. This also is a bit more of an updated design from Corsair. This one has the power supply shroud kind of cut off here, so an additional case fan can be had here, which is nice. And from what I've been told, the 3500X does kind of redeem itself in terms of build quality. So yes, this is going to be a well-built PC case that comes with Type-C support. I just think the issue with this PC case is the price and what you're getting for it. Because as we just saw earlier, if we were to go back to the tier list, the Antec C3 is almost like the same kind of PC case, but comes with 4 pre-included ARGB fans and costs about $25 less. So this one at about $110, I mean, it's a Corsair case, it is nice, but it could be offering more for its $110 price tag, meaning I'm gonna throw this case in C tier. I'm gonna put this, I think, just above the BeQuiet case. Yeah, right there. Now we're gonna go ahead and cover some Cougar cases, starting with the Cougar Archon 2. This case caught me off guard. That's all I'll say, because check this out. Right now on a discount, it's $50. It comes with free front included ARGB fans, and that is a mesh perforated front side panel that already checks off a lot of boxes, but do keep in mind, this PC case, it's low res, but it doesn't come with any Type-C headers, just 3 regular USB ports. But I mean, for like $50, I really can't complain with that, honestly. And it also comes with white for about $55. It's a decent looking case, but I think what kind of put me off when I further looked in this PC case was the interior. Because look at that, it's just bare bones, bare minimum, no cable grommets. I don't know if this is even optimal. Also, the case look does a bit narrow because, I mean, I don't think the longest graphics card can truly fit in there. Let me see. What kind of graphics card length can it support? 315, that's not too bad. But for $50 to $55, I'm not complaining. But the bigger question is it a better value than these Bitfenix cases here? Because they are a little bit more expensive, but do come with a fan controller built in. Well, I think the answer is no, even if it is a bit cheaper, but I'm probably gonna throw it, I'm gonna put it right there. Yeah. It's gonna go right there between the Apevia Prism and these Bitfenix cases. Now the Cougar MX330-G, this is another classic. This is a bit of an oddball choice as well, because I used the original MX330 long ago, like back in, I think, 2018 for a budget PC build. And For its time, it actually was kind of a future PC case because it was one of the few that came with this mesh front panel, but even then, like, you could tell it was a bit older because of this 5.25-inch drive bay here in the front. So it was still kind of old school, but new school at the same time with having some decent focus on airflow. But what I think is the reason why Cougar went ahead and updated this case with the Pro version is that this comes with two front 5.25-inch drive bays. And I think there is still a small segment of users out there that are still wanting to use these drive bays for some reason. And Cougar went ahead and just updated this case, and they even did the right thing and threw on here a USB Type-C header. So I gotta give them props for that. But for 70 bucks, of course, there's cases that absolutely blow this out of the water in terms of cooling performance and looks and pre-included fans and all of that, because I think this only comes with one, which is kind of upsetting. But the fact that it still is rocking two 5.25-inch drive bays, I think will get a few bonus points for me, but not a whole lot. This is going to go, okay, even with the 5.25s, I don't think I'm gonna put it super high, just above the original Archon. I'm gonna say, yeah, I take that back. The 5.25-inch drive bays, those are not useful at all in 2024. Cool case though. Now we're on to some DARKROCK PC cases, and we'll go ahead and switch over to Amazon for these. So this case originally caught my eye for its really cheap price tag and for claiming to support 40 series graphics cards. So if we were to go ahead and actually check out the specs here, this can support up to a 340mm graphics card that is going to cover a large amount of modern day graphics cards, which is nice. And get this, the EC2 actually has an onboard USB Type-C header right here. This is one of the cheapest cases in this PC tier list that has a Type-C header for this cheap of a price. I just think it's cheap. It comes with one pre-included fan that is not RGB, and it just looks kind of boring. You know, I wanted the case to look a little bit cooler than this. It's a really cool budget PC case, but it looks a little bit boring. I'm gonna throw this in D tier. There's only one included case fan. That's a little bit upsetting. I'm gonna put that right there in between the Prism and the Bgears case. Now the DARKROCK A8-M. This one is also kind of funky because I'm like, they did a few things right and a few things that I was like, wait, why did you do that? Because look, it has a perforated mesh front panel. I really like that. Comes with one pre-included ARGB fan, which for about 55 bucks, I'll let that slide totally. But I don't get this. Why are there two case fans here on the bottom? Just put them at the front, and for that, like, it's not gonna get that good of airflow. This is not a perforated mesh PSU cover here, so I don't see where you're grabbing that airflow from, because it's not gonna really come from the bottom of the front of the PC case. You might as well put those two fans here, and above all, those two included fans are not RGB. They're just regular black PC case fans. But it is 55 bucks, does come with more included case fans. You can move those, which is one thing I would do with this case, and it does come with white. And again, does this come with USB Type-C? Let me go ahead and double check. I think it does. It does, yeah, it does come with Type-C. Okay, cool. Yeah, this is definitely better than the EC2 that we just checked out for only $3 more. I'm gonna throw the A8-M probably in C tier. I'd say if you move around those fans, I think this could be about here. I'm gonna say about there, yeah. No, I think I'll go a little bit higher. A little bit, it does offer a lot of things. Yeah, I'll keep that there. But the DARKROCK MH200, this one, let's quickly take a quick look at this. So this PC case is unique in the fact that its side panel here is not glass, it's not visible, it's just straight up mesh. I have actually used this PC case before, it's all right. One thing you gotta note as well is that this does have a Type-C header for probably the cheapest price at 50 bucks. That's kind of neat. It does come with 3 included fans, also kind of neat. It's the same case as the A8-M that we just looked over, but you can't see the inside components, but because of the side panel, it is $5 cheaper. And I think I'm gonna do the cheeky thing and actually put this above the A8-M just because it's $5 less. It offers the same functionality, but you can still kind of see the inside of the components of your PC case. And technically, not having a glass panel here does make cooling better. So, you know, I'll give it a slight edge over the 8AM just for that. Okay, now the brand overall DIYPC. So they're popular on Newegg for budget PC builders. I have used a lot of their cases in the past, and the one commonality amongst all of them is the build quality, because it's kind of meh. Man, a lot of these cases just do not have the best build quality. They skimp out on a lot of things. I mean, for instance, this DIY ARGB-Q8, it has like the thinnest rear panel in the world, so you can barely do any cable management in it, even if it's dirt cheap. And the original DIY ARGB-Q1 that I used back in February for my $800 PC build had pretty poor build quality. Also, again, I was unsure about the structural rigidity of this pillar here. So overall, the brand historically has just had kind of poor build quality, but it is really cheap. So I'm probably have to put it in F tier? F tier above Bgears, because they have better cases overall. I'd probably put it at the top of F tier, but I do want to give a highlight to the DIYPC Q3 version 2. I used this PC case in my last $500 gaming PC build, and it kind of shocked me. So one thing you'll immediately notice with the version 2 that was not present on the version 1 is this pillar right here. I believe DIYPC case have gone in and reinforced this, which is why it isn't a seamless glass transition here. It's kind of bordered off, which I support. That could support the rigidity of this PC case. Also, the version 2 was a bit easier to build in versus the version 1. Although both PC cases lack USB Type-C, for 60 bucks, this does have a bit more rigidity to it versus the version 1, which makes me more confident in you using it over time. It is still really cheap, still comes with 3 pre-included ARGB fans, and for that price, it's not too bad, and it's a bit of an oddball out versus the rest of DIYPC's cases because they're made really cheaply, and this one isn't made as cheaply, and I think would be okay. Again though, there's no USB Type-C, so this is gonna get kind of a meh rating, but I'm gonna throw it right there. No, I'm gonna put it above because it's a fish tank case for 60 bucks with that amount of case fans, and it's a step up from the version 1. It's gonna be at the top of D tier for now. Okay, Fractal Design Pop Air. A lot of you guys are gonna give me flack for this ranking, but I gotta tell you what it is. If we check the Fractal Design Pop Air right now, it's about $80 to $90. This comes in various sizes, from like an XL to a micro ATX. And admittedly, I will give the case a bit of bonus points for all the different colors because this is quite unique. But I'm not gonna let Fractal Design get away with one huge design oversight when it came to making this PC case. Even if the fact that you can kind of directly access the front of this PC case here with your 3.5H hard drive base is kind of nice. There's one really bad thing this case does. Stock, this comes with 2 regular USB 3.0 ports for $90, and there's an optional USB Type-C kit sold separately. They put this even in their marketing. USB Type-C ready. Why? Why charge more for a USB Type-C header? I mean, functionally, this case, it does the job. It has a mesh front panel, comes with 3 included ARGB fans. The build quality is there, but I can't support that. There's already no USB Type-C stock on the Fractal Design Pop Air. And the fact that you have to pay for it really turns me off. This should come with the case stock. There's other cases in this price range that already have it. It's not gonna get that great of a ranking from me. It's just, it needs to have onboard USB Type-C. And the fact that you have to pay for it, it's gonna go just above the Corsair 3000D. Okay, Gamdias, all right, these guys. Well, let's hop on over to Amazon. Let me show you what's up with Gamdias. So historically, their cases and their build quality has always been low. And also their case design and thermals has always been questionable. I feel like Gamdias, they always prioritize aesthetics over performance, and that leads to PC cases that look like this, with a glass front panel, with a glass front panel, with a glass front panel, with a, wait, is this mesh? Okay, this one's mesh. We'll give that to Gamdias, but overall, a lot of the PC cases, poorly built, in my opinion, and the airflow quality isn't great, and the included fans may not be the best. I think maybe there was even one time where like these included case fans, they connected over like a Molex power connector, and that is ancient. So overall, the brand, I mean, I'd say they're better than DIYPC, but nothing too fantastic. So I'll put them at the bottom of E tier. But Gamdias, I think, may be going in the right direction because they did introduce these new Atlas PC cases. Starting with the E1, this is $70, and notably, what stands out right away is that this comes with a display that can read out your temperatures for your CPU or GPU. Kind of neat for $70. And hey, the bottom here has perforated mesh. That might also be beneficial for airflow because there's no ports here on the side for any fans. But look at that, no USB Type-C for $70. I don't get it, come on. Just, I mean, do what you gotta do, Gamdias, but you can do better than this. Also, the build quality might not be, let's see, I did actually get my hands on this case at one of their suites in either at CES and Computex. The build quality for this case is not spectacular. I wanna say like this display here is really taking up the budget, but that alone really makes this case stand out, so I will have to give bonus points for that. Also, it does come with 3 included ARGB fans. I don't know how effective these are gonna be here at the bottom, especially with this display right here kind of covering up where this fan would be. So it's gonna be okay, I think above average for a Gamdias case. I think this is gonna go in D tier, but I would say just for the display alone, I'm gonna throw this above the Cougar, but below these Bitfenix and DIYPC cases, yeah. But I think Gamdias did cook a little bit harder with the M1 though, because this case is a little bit more complete. As you can see, this does come still with only 3 120s, but you at least have them here on the side for additional airflow. That makes me feel more comfortable recommending this PC case long term. Also, it's just wider, so you can support longer graphics cards. Again, with the same display, does come with Type-C, which is cool. Just again, the build quality, I don't know where it's at. And for $90, again, like you got the Antec C3, you have the Cooler Master HAF 500, you have the Lancool 207, all in that price range that are just stupendous PC cases. This at 90, its only main selling point really is that display, but it's a bit more of a better all-around PC case. So I would have to say this, you know what, I'm gonna put this right here and I'm gonna put the E1 a bit lower. Actually, yeah, they're gonna be right next to each other. These should be a little bit cheaper, I think. Okay, height Y40, the only height case in this list. And again, the Y60 and the Y70 are above the price rule limit for this tier list. So they're already S tier cases, trust me. But the Y40 is within the bounds of this tier list video, so let's quickly take a look at it. What is notable about the high Y40 is that besides the Cooler Master NR200 V2, this is the only other PC case in this list under $120 that comes with a pre-included PCI Gen 4.0 riser cable, which is pretty sick, especially if you're one of those PC gamers who is going to insist on having a vertical graphics card, even if thermally it's not as good as having it horizontal. And the high Y40 can offer you that for about $120 right now, but you can get the red version of this case for $85, which is a steal. And to that point, you can get this in different colors: black, red, this Stormtrooper white, and then a full-on snow white. I like that. So this does offer more colors than just the plain old black and white. And then riser cable is nice. Now thermally, it's not the best. I mean, there's definitely cases for 120, like the Antec Flux and these Cooler Master cases that definitely, I think, do better for the price. And this having only one 120 here in the back definitely leaves a lot to be desired. I know you're gonna populate it with more case fans, but it could be offering more stock, but the design is really cool. The colors that it offers is quite unique, and height is, they're a very unique PC case brand. So although I don't wanna put weight on aesthetics, it's a cool looking case. I built a PC-in-1 last year and I did like it. I think the Y40 is gonna be a C tier case because it is a little bit overpriced, but I think it's gonna go closer to the top just because it has that PCI Gen 4.0 riser cable. So if you insisted on having a vertical GPU, the Y40 can offer you that, I think, for not too bad of a price. So I will say, well, the NR200 is kind of the same deal. I think I'm gonna throw it right here, below the Q300L V2, but just above the NR200 V2. The only two cases in this tier list that have a PCI Gen 4.0 riser cable. Jonesbo D, okay, let's clear up the air because there's a lot of Jonesbo cases out there. So you have the regular D30. The regular D30, I don't recommend because look at that front panel. My brother in Christ, where is the airflow? Or better yet, where is your power supply gonna face? Because it can't face here because that's a flat front. That means your power supply fan is gonna have to face inside the PC case. And I don't know if that's the best given the hot air that could be generated by the graphics card. So I don't like the design of these flat front Jonesbo cases. They aren't in the tier list because I forgot them. But what I do recommend is the D31 because this is the same case but mesh. Not this one with the LCD, that's still kind of worthless. We want the regular with no mesh. Sorry, with mesh. And yeah, it's sold out because it's on a good discount, but this is not too bad. So your power supply can now face on the outside of the PC case. It doesn't have to face on the inside, but there's a few things I don't like. One, look at that I/O. Just a single USB Type A header and a Type C. The AP201 for less, even with this on a discount, offers more I/O. And yeah, it's at the bottom, so it's totally out of the way of like, say, a longer AIO and a graphics card, but I wish this had one more port because even for smaller PC cases, having that extra IO up front is handy. And I think that's it. Yeah, it needed one more port. It's pricier than the AP201 and another small micro ATX PC case we'll be covering soon, but it's still a fairly complete PC case. This says D30, but it should be D31. So this is gonna be a C tier. Yeah, near the bottom, it really needed just one more USB Type A header, and it is a bit more pricey compared to the AP201. That's, the D30 was almost there. Sorry, the D31. Oh, and the U4 Mini, I included this just as a contrast between the mesh and the non-mesh, but don't get this kind of a case if it doesn't have a mesh front panel in the front. It's going down here in D tier, I'm sorry. What I'm not sorry about though is Lian Li. Lian Li, they're really good. So good that the standard of their PC cases had gotten to the point where their older cases are definitely showing their age, like the 205M. This one's interesting because I previously put the Lian Li 205M as a really good case in my last tier list video, but now it's just gotten straight up old because this case on Amazon is 95 bucks. That is way too much. So preferably, you want to go ahead and get this case at Micro Center, where here you can get it for a much more acceptable price of, once it loads in, you can see it right there, 70 bucks. But here's the main crucifix for this case. There's no Type C. That's the biggest downside. A lot of other budget micro ATX cases have Type C. This also only has 2 front ARGB fans. There's others in this price segment that come with more. The only thing really going for this is its build quality. It's still a well-built PC case even in 2024. So it is a bit limiting, unfortunately, and it is a bit overpriced, but that's just because it's getting older. So this is gonna be a D tier. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, y'all. Yeah, it just... 205, Lian Li 205. What about this one? So again, this can only be had at Micro Center. At $90, it is kind of pricey, but technically on paper, this has everything, including a Type C header on it. Although this interior, oh, that leaves a lot to be desired actually. Oh yeah, I don't know if I like that. That does not look $90. That looks like 50 or 60. Technically, it checks all the boxes. I just think this maybe isn't the most premium feeling PC case, although it's from Lian Li, so it's really odd that the 205M and the 205 kind of are way overshadowed by their other PC cases we'll cover soon, including the Lancool 207. But the 205, it's gonna be C tier, probably just above the Flux. That interior kind of puts me off and it is overpriced, but technically it has Type C, it's got airflow, it's got decent build quality, so it's gonna be a C tier for now. But the Lian Li Lancool 216, this is a good PC case. If you weren't one of those people who were sold on getting a fish tank PC case or a dual glass PC case, then you had the 216 because let's be real, you really didn't need any more than this for a PC case because this comes with 2 front 160 millimeter ARGB fans and one 140 here on the rear, and just these 3 fans alone was enough to make this case one of the best thermal performing cases you could get for its price. And add in more fans and this thing is complete. I mean, heck, look at that fan controller right there. Anyways, this case is a little bit old. I think it looks not as interesting as some other cases around it, but in terms of cooling performance, it does deserve to be near the top of our tier list, and it does again offer good build quality. So I'm gonna throw this in A tier, but below the Antec series cases. Yes, the 216 probably has better performance than the C3 and the C5, but its looks could be a bit more interesting. But still, it's an A tier case. It's a very fantastic cooling case, but also low key, the Lancool 207 matches this case for like 20 bucks less. So by definition, I mean, we're talking about really slim margins here. Both of these are excellent cases. 216 is still fantastic. Okay, Lian Li A3 Mini Air. Let's have a quick look at this one. Now you may be asking, where's the regular A3? Well, simple answer is that the regular A3 costs more than the $120 limit that I have for this tier list. It's already an S tier case. It's already got excellent build quality. Once you populate it with fans, it's already gonna be an excellent case. But the A3 Air here offers a budget version of that. And as you can see, the front panel here is mesh, not glass, which I'm actually totally fine with. And although this photo shows to have 4, this actually has 2 case fans. Wait, really? Oh no, this has 3. That's actually not too bad. Just the only thing I really gotta give this case a knock for is that these case fans should be ARGB. Knowing the target audience for Lian Li and this kind of case, I get it may be an airflow optimized case, but they really should have been ARGB. Because now if you want to throw out these case fans, I mean, you're kind of wasting money there. Actually, this case maybe would have been better without any case fans, which still would have qualified for this tier list. But the fact that it has 3 fans nonetheless will put it at a decent ranking from me. Although the one issue I did hear from reviewers is that look at that clearance at the top for an AIO. And I know firsthand trying to squeeze in a 280mm AIO into that case, depending on the motherboard, can be a challenge because your motherboard VRMs could stick out too far and interfere with an AIO. So AIO compatibility is a bit mixed in this PC case, but it's still a Lian Li case. It's compact, it's meant to be like that, and the mesh front is gonna offer better cooling performance. So for 100 bucks, it's all right, but there's another case like this that I think offers a better value proposition, which we'll be covering soon, but the A3 Mini Air for now, it's gonna go in C tier, and I'd say I'm gonna probably put it just above the BeQuiet case, below the Corsair one. Yeah, it's kind of like the BeQuiet case, just with one more case fan. Yeah, that's kind of it really. Oh, but the Lian Li A3. All right, I've been kind of foreshadowing this case a little bit too much over the duration of this tier list. Let me go ahead and show you guys why this case is really fantastic versus say the AP201 and the Jonesbo D30. So first up, 70 bucks. It's the cheapest of the 3. Second of all, unlike the Jonesbo, this has 2 USB Type-A headers and a Type-C. Excellent. And unlike the AP201, where all the I/O is at the top, all the I/O here is at the bottom. And what that allows you to do is have even more flexibility on the inside of the chassis for cooling. Whether you want to do this here where you have an air cooler with an additional 120 to cool off your RAM and add even more airflow into the case with a perforated mesh side panel, you can do that. But you've also got enough room for water cooling if you wanted to go down that route as well. As you can see, it can fit up to a 360mm radiator, and seeing as the I/O moved from the top to the bottom, you've got clearance at that corner, unlike the AP201. So, good design on behalf of Lian Li and a good use of space. It's just a more thought out case, and the cherry on top, and I feel like a lot of you guys are gonna dig this who want this kind of case, is that this does come with an actual wood front panel and still offers good airflow. So it's just a really neat case in its form factor for its price. Sure, there's no pre-included case fans, but it fits the bill. It's under $100 with no case fans. And look at that, there's a fully built system. There's a lot of flexibility in this PC case, more so than the AP201, and comes with an additional USB Type-A port versus the Jonesbo, and it's cheaper. Therefore, I'm gonna throw this case at the bottom of A tier. It's good. MagniumGear Neo Air 2. All right, so this is a case only found on Newegg. You can't get it on Amazon, and funny enough, it only comes in white. I don't know why. I tried to get a black version of this PC case once for a build. Didn't happen. It immediately went out of stock, but the white one is still here, weird enough, so hey, we'll go with it, but This comes with 4 120mm black fans, and in this case, it actually works. I think the black fans provide a nice contrast between the white, if you're to say throw in black components like what you see right here. And this works versus say if this case only came with like 2 case fans. Because if it only came with 2, like those Corsair 4000D and 3000D, then you would be left with 2 case fans in black, and you probably want to populate the rest in the PC case with like ARGB fans, which would make you throw out the old fans and then put in those new ARGB fans. Whereas here in the MagniumGear, you're already given 4, and I think they match the look of the PC case, so you don't need to replace these. And I want to say these are decent fans as well. Also, this front wood panel here is probably not wood, probably plastic made to look like wood, but still it looks pretty decent. If I were to give one knock though to this PC case, and you'll see this, is there's only one USB Type A header and one USB Type C. But for a $60 case potentially, I'm not complaining. With 4 included case fans like that, I'm not complaining. And I wanna say this is gonna let in plenty of airflow to your graphics card and processor. Yeah, for 60 bucks with having only one USB Type A, I'll let that slide. Because I think on paper, this is a really cool PC case for its price. I'm gonna throw this in A tier, probably in between the Lancool and the Antec C3. I think it's a great case on paper. All right, now we are on to Montech. And I just wanna let you know, Montech is cooking up some cool cases. They got some good stuff in store that I saw at Computex. It's not out yet, but their build quality is probably gonna be the new best for their prices. So a few of these older Montech cases won't have as good of build quality as you'll soon see in their upcoming PC cases, but I'm just letting you know, any of their future cases are probably gonna be at least B tier. They look super competitive for their price. But the Montech Air 100 ARGB is a bit of an older case. I do want to briefly highlight this one because it's still being sold on Amazon and people are still buying it, but just be aware of the limitations. Yes, this is a mesh front panel, comes with 4 ARGB fans, but it is an older case, meaning if we check out the I/O here, it's got only standard USB Type A headers, no Type C. That is a little bit disappointing. And also one other thing I don't like is that there is this big fat Montech logo that looks so like 2022. There is this fan controller here on the back for the 4 included fans, which is quite nice. And for 70 bucks, that's a little bit overpriced, but all in all, not too bad. It just really needs a Type C header. And the build quality on this case, I think, is also decent. So this is gonna be a C tier case given the lack of the Type C header, but it's still a pretty good value nonetheless. I think I gotta throw right there, in between the TD500 and the Flux. Okay, Montech Air King 65 Pro. This case just came out, and weirdly enough, although the Lian Li O11 Air Mini is a micro ATX case, the new King 65 Pro gives me the same sort of vibes, but it's an ATX case, and this isn't a mesh front panel, it's glass, and this comes with 3 ARGB fans instead of 3 regular fans. And this case on paper should have rocked it, but unfortunately, looking at benchmarks when it comes to thermal cooling performance in this case actually don't look that great, especially if you watch that recent Gamers Nexus video. And that could be because the included fans just aren't good enough. And unlike the King 95 Pro, which had some really good fans, this one maybe doesn't as much. Also, let me see, let me do a price check. King, okay, yeah, there's no, okay, all right, cool. We don't need to include the 95 Pro because there's no fans in here. But the King 65 Pro stock with fans needs to be a better thermal cooling case, but still comes with USB Type C, does have good build quality, and is not too expensive. So this is gonna be yet another C tier case. The matter is just where. I think it's gonna go right there. Yeah, between the Y40 and the Q300 V2. Montech Sky 2. Okay, this one, on paper, this is actually a very good PC case. I just don't like the look of it. Also, this case kind of needs a 120 here on the rear just to complete it all. Yes, these 3 140s here in the front are gonna offer some undeniably good airflow, but you were really close to making this a really cool PC case. Just, I think this is kind of a boring looking case. It does have good build quality though, because this is a Sky 2 chassis. I do need to check something though. Okay, this does have a fan controller on the back. That's really cool for 75 bucks. I mean, technically this is a good PC case. I just don't like the look of it. So, I mean, this is gonna get a good ranking from me. Not super high though. Yeah, it's looking more like a B tier case, but near the top. For $75, it's a heck of a case. Montech XR though, this is what kind of blows me away. I just wonder what kind of profit margins are Montech expecting to make on Amazon listing this case for $64. I hope they're making enough, because this with 3 ARGB fans, Type-C, and actually some decent build quality, because I did see this case at Computex and it's not cheap. For $64 for an ATX case, this is like what the Atlas M1 should be, but it's way cheaper. So for $64, I assume its cooling performance is all right, but man, that price is a little too good. I think I might have to throw this right now at the bottom of A tier. I don't know how good its cooling performance is, but I do know that it checks off all the other boxes. I think that's probably the best value dual glass PC case on the list right now. But we've got yet another really excellent case from Montech. We have the Montech Sky 2, the regular, not the GX. I've used this case twice, and this doesn't just come in black. It also comes in white and this really cool blue color. But what I like about the black is that it isn't just a boring black. It's got black on the top with this like gray on the bottom, and it's a really cool contrast. Also, this comes with, I guess, 4 PWM ARGB fans for $90. That's totally fine. USB Type-C. And on the rear here, I was pleasantly surprised by the fan controller that was on the back, because all of these case fans were already pre-routed to that, so that was also really cool. And if this case ever goes on a discount, it is automatically one of the best PC cases. Really excellent build quality, all around great performer. It's got everything you need. This case is going in A tier. It's just a matter of where. I think I would put this above the XR, because I know the cooling performance of the Sky 2 is going to be decent. Obviously not as good as the 216, but the Sky 2 still has a lot going for it. Okay, Montech X3 Mesh. We got to quickly cover about this one. So the reason why I'm including the X3 Mesh in this video is because people are still buying it, and technically by definition this offers the most fans per dollar. At $65, you're given 6 ARGB fans, and 3 of those are 140s on the front. So in all honesty, in terms of airflow, this is probably gonna offer you the most airflow per dollar. But I'll tell you this, I've used this case before, and it's one of Montech's older and cheaper cases. It's really cheap, which for $65, that isn't too much of a deal breaker, but it is an older case, so it does lack in one thing that I've been saying a bunch in this tier list. It won't even show it, but there's no Type-C. It's only USB 3.0. And there's cases we've seen that cost about this price range that come with a Type-C. Yeah, so it's cheap. It needs a Type-C. It's an older case, the build quality isn't as good, but it does offer a ton of airflow for its price, so it's gonna get a ranking somewhere in the middle here. It's gonna be a C tier case, but given its build quality, I think it's gonna go above the P20C. Yeah, it's gonna go above the P20C, right here in the middle of C tier. But the Montech Air 903 Max, I use this PC case in my $1,500 PC build. And the cool thing about that $1,500 PC build was that it was entirely geared for price to performance. Not a single dollar was wasted on useless ARGB. And although the Air 903 Max can be had with some ARGB fans here, you can get the regular for even less with 3 140mm fans. Both of these cases for $65 and $75 are very excellent in terms of cooling performance. The perforated mesh here is really fine. You're gonna get a ton of airflow. I think actually this might offer the most airflow per dollar actually. I wanna say the 3 140s here in the front are just way too good. And I mean, honestly, you're set with this. And it's a big case as well, so it can support longer graphics cards. Yeah, and the build quality also is good. Yeah, this case is right there. It's a good case. I can personally vouch for how good this PC case is. I'm just gonna spill the beans. It's an S tier case going just above the HAF 500. I think all those things considered, the Lancool 207 might be slightly better performing in terms of airflow, just because those 2 fans at the bottom providing airflow to the graphics card is maybe a better setup, but still, if we wanted to go with the traditional case setup, the 903 Max offers the best airflow per dollar, I wanna say. All right, MSI Mag Forge 112R. Oh man, we've got some more to go. If you're enjoying what you see and you're still with me, please subscribe. This is gonna be a long video and we need some extra subscriptions to make up for it. Thank you. Anyways, so this is okay, there's actually two. I forgot to include the 321R, but both of them look very similar, including this one, the 100R. Okay, that $100 delivery fee is pretty outrageous. Both of these, I mean, they're fine. I just think they're a little pricey. They do come with 4 ARGB fans. I don't think the design though is super interesting. I don't know how good the build quality is, and also, there's one important thing we gotta know. Does it have USB Type-C? It might not have USB Type-C. It does not have USB Type-C for $90. What about the other one, the 321R? Surely this one does, right? Nope. So the only thing it has, the only knock is that it doesn't have Type-C and that it's a little bit overpriced, and I don't know how good the build quality is. I think it's a little bit of a poor value. It's probably gonna be a D tier case. I'm gonna throw this probably right there above the Atlas cases. I'm gonna put that right there. Okay, Montech. This is a new PC case that's come up the ranks on Amazon. They've got a lot of cases. I mean, honestly, I can't rank all of these, but they do have one case that stands out, and it's their ATX PC case. It's a fish tank style PC case with varying amounts of case fans in different colors, and it's usually hovering about $90 to $70. You can get a version of this case with all the fans populated, but that's $130, so it technically disqualifies it, but that doesn't look too bad. But with a $20 off coupon, this doesn't look too shabby, and look at that. It has Project Zero support for motherboards with power connectors and I/O on the rear of the motherboard. Also, look at that. If Montech can have USB Type-C on their PC case, what excuse do you have? Come on. Anyways, I don't know how good these case fans are. It could be a situation like the Montech King 65 Pro where the fans just aren't good enough. So I don't know about that, but this is substantially cheaper than the King 65 Pro, and you can get it in white for also not too expensive of a price. So I don't know thermally how good this case performs. I don't know the build quality, but it's decent. I think it's gonna be okay. I think it's gonna be on the money. I'm gonna throw this case probably just above the AP201. It seems all right on paper. Oh, finally, we get to some NZXT cases. This is actually gonna be my favorite part of the video. Oh, let me tell you why. All right, NZXT fanboys, explain to me. Here's the H5 Flow. This is the 2022 case. It's on a discount right now for 70 bucks, but I'm letting you know, that's only because it's the holiday season. Any other time of the year, and this thing is like 80 bucks. And tell me, first of all, let's not use this photo because that is inaccurate. First of all, this case only comes with 2 fans, one on the rear and one here kind of in the bottom right, acting as a little jet for your graphics card, which seems good on paper, but this stock airflow setup by itself actually isn't too effective. You still need some fans here at the front. But that isn't why I'm kind of roasting this case. Explain to me why a $70 case, should be more like 80, comes with only one USB Type-A header. What? Sure, it comes with Type-C, but... And here's the stupid thing, they do the same thing again for their 2024 case. We'll get there. But for $70, this isn't terrible. And this little jet fan here that's gonna push up to your graphics card isn't the most effective. It needs to be more powerful. But at the end of the day, it's still an NZXT case. Because look at this rear. This is excellent if you're someone who just needs extra help for cable management, and it's also beginner friendly, and it is on a discount right now. And thermally, once this case is populated with fans, it is gonna do a good job. Just why? Why is there only one USB Type-A port? The build quality though is stellar, I will say that. So for its current price, I'll give it a little bit, I'll let it slide for now. This is gonna be a C tier case, but it's gonna be somewhere near the top. I'm gonna say, I'll be generous. I'll put it right there. Actually, no, I'll be even more generous. Boom, H5 Flow. If it had 2 USB Type-A headers, it'd be a B tier case, I think. But its stock airflow, the stock air setup is not the best, but it is very beginner friendly and the build quality is great. The H5 Flow 2024. So this case just came out, and I will say this right now off the bat. I really like the look of this PC case actually. From the side, I like this inverted shelf with mesh that's going on, and I think thermally that's actually helping the case out. My only issue is the freaking price. Now again, because it's the holiday season, this is $100, but I swore I saw this case for like 110 like 2 days ago. But once again, for a $100 case, NZXT, why do you have to designate the case for the H5 to only have one USB Type-A header? Have two. For this price, it needs to have two. Now, I will give credit this. This does come with 4 included fans inside the PC case. That's nice. Thermally, this is going to perform way better out of the box than the H5 Flow, with once again having all the great beginner-friendly features and really excellent build quality. But why is there only one USB Type-A header? That's the one downside, because otherwise for $100, it is almost, if this had an extra USB Type-A header, I think it would be a B tier case. It absolutely would. But, well, even then, like 4 fans, let me think. It's gonna go to the top of C tier because, I mean, objectively, these cases here are just, they are superb. This isn't quite superb, but still like really good. Oh man. This case could have been it. We almost could have had it. It just needed an additional Type-A header. But the H6 Flow, fortunately, doesn't fall victim to the fact that it only has a single USB Type-A header. It has the sensible choice of having 2. Along with a USB Type-A header, like, come on, just NZXT, do this to the H5. This has 3 fans here. These are not the RGB fans. These are standard. This is fine, I think. I built in this case not too long ago. The build quality is good. The only issue is that there's certain AIO incompatibility depending on the motherboard and how tall your VRMs are with your AIO that you're gonna put here on the top. The two could interfere, but otherwise this case thermally performs decently. The build quality is nice. It's an NZXT case at the end of the day, and it does have this really interesting design take on the dual glass fish tank design, and it's $110, and that's actually not too shabby. I think, man, this is tough. I like the look of the H5 Flow. It just, I think H6 is gonna have to go just above. Oh, come on, NZXT, the H5 Flow could have been it. But now let's go to a new PC case company that's been quickly going up the ranks, Okinos. All right, Okinos. So first up, we have the Aqua 3. This is $60. This case is selling like hotcakes. And there's a few reasons why you'd want to consider it. First of all, $60 is very attractive. Comes with a Type-C header, 3 included ARGB fans, and the bottom chamber here has perforated mesh. So all in all, not too shabby. There's a few things that I don't like about the case though. Thermally, I'm a bit concerned because yeah, you could throw some fans here on the bottom, but there really needed to be 2 case fans right here just to provide a bit more thermal security to the PC case. And that would also help with graphics card support, although I think length on this case is still decent. How long of a GPU can this thing support? 330? That's, oh, no, that could be a little bit better, I'd say. Yeah. I think this case, it's a little bit limiting, but its price is very attractive and again has USB Type-C and 3 case fans. So it's gonna get a decent ranking from me. Once again, this is gonna be a C tier case. I think it's gonna go, yeah, above that, above that, above that. It's stopping right there. I'm gonna stop the Aqua 3 right there. But now the Aqua 5. Now this case, I'm more comfortable recommending because let's take a look at it. This case does what I thought the Aqua 3 should have. I guess, you know, there's tiers to it. So this for $75 for only $15 more has those 2 fans here on the side. So that provides a bit more thermal security, still the same great IO. I don't know how good the build quality is, but this is a traditional ATX style layout. And this kind of layout for $75 is really good. Now, I've never built in any of these Okinos cases before, but from what I can see in reviews, it looks all right. So I think they're not too bad. And they might just be some of the best budget PC cases you can get on Amazon. And look at that, GPU length up to 450 millimeters. There's no issue for any future graphics cards you want to throw into this PC case later down the line. I think the Aqua 5, low key, well, you have the XR. That's basically the same. It's gonna be a B tier then. Probably at the top of B tier though. Yeah, because the XR is essentially the same case, but for about $9 less, which makes the XR even more impressive for its price. But the Aqua 5 I think is still pretty impressive. But now the Aqua 7, where does this put us? Okinos Aqua 7, $90. So this is another $15 over the Aqua 5, but we're given twice the fans. 6 120 millimeter fans, 3 at the top, 3 at the bottom, same IO. I think this case is slightly taller because of these case fans here. So I think it's an Aqua 5 just with even more airflow for another 15 bucks. So I think given that and the amount of fans you get, is this an A tier? Is this an A tier case? Okay, for 90 bucks, you can get that one. This has more case fans, might have better airflow. You know, I think I'll throw this at the bottom of A tier. It's slightly better value than the Aqua 5, I think, just for having those extra case fans. But let's keep the Okinos train going with the Mirage 6. This, I think I might build a PC in this case. This is interesting. You're given 4 120mm ARGB fans. I don't know where the 4th fan goes. It's maybe on the bottom somewhere, but look at this wood finish here on the right. Now, I actually don't know if that's real or not. It says genuine walnut wood, so I'd assume it's real. And I don't know how good the overall build quality is in the PC case as well, but I will say it has Project Zero support right off the bat. That is another plus. Has a fan hub, splitter cable. It looks to have everything that you need for this kind of a fish tank style PC case, but this wood I think definitely makes it stand out. And if you were to get a clean looking system like this for $95 with a 5% off coupon, this looks to be a really good value fish tank style PC case, maybe even a better value than what we just showed off with the Montech, where is it? King 65 Pro. Yeah. Do I dare put this PC case in B tier or A tier? Okay, it's at least a B tier, but I think it might go probably right here. I don't know how good the build quality is, but 4 included fans seems convincing. It has Project Zero motherboard support, and that wood panel on the side gets a few extra bonus points from me. And we've got one more Okinos case to cover. We have the Cypress 7. So this also just came out. It's a traditional ATX style PC case. Comes with 4 120mm fans that aren't RGB, 82 bucks, genuine wood. This would be a really cool case for like a performance PC build that has no RGB. I think it looks great on paper. I just don't know how good the build quality is. But for $80, what other cases could you get? You could get the Aqua 5, but the Cypress 7 comes with one more case fan. The Sky 2 GX, that's also decent. I think this, again, I need to try out this brand just to be absolutely sure, but this is looking like an A tier case. For 80 bucks, I'll put it right there at the bottom of A tier. It seems all right. It does seem all right, and the wood, I do like it. Okay, what's up next? Oh, we're still got a little bit of a ways to go, but let's go ahead and cover Phanteks. Phanteks XT Pro Ultra. You can only get this on Newegg, but if we take a look at it, this case does go on a discount every now and then, and when it does, it absolutely slashes the price of this PC case to like $60 or $70. And without any case fans, you can get this for $60. Well, actually, just with one. But that's a really good price for this kind of case. And I know with this Phanteks XT Pro, the build quality is going to be decent. This is a big enough PC case as well. You can fit some pretty chunky graphics cards in it. And this also has USB Type-C on the top, all but only one Type A header. But look at that, look at the price. I think that's way more acceptable than what the H5 is offering you for a bit more than this actually. Because yeah, the H5 was on a discount. This is not technically on a discount yet, but it will be soon. Oh, but also this comes with 4 ARGB fans. The H5 only came with like 2 non-ARGB fans. So it's still a decent value. The XT Pro Ultra, it's gonna go, yeah, I'm gonna throw it right here. I'm gonna throw it right there, right in between the MagniumGear Neo Air and the C3. Okay, the G360A, I'll save you the trouble. The G360A is like an older version of a Phanteks case, so there's no Type-C on it. It still does come with 4 fans and a really nice perforated mesh front panel, so airflow is still really excellent. It's just a bit overpriced and it's a bit outdated because the G400A is soon going to replace it. So I'm gonna throw this case probably at the top of D tier. It's a great cooling case. It's just overpriced and outdated because the G400A is going to replace it. This case technically isn't out yet, but it is revealed because Phanteks did put out a press release statement on it. I can't tell you the price of it, but I know the price. And if I had to kind of place my bet on where this thing is gonna land, I'll be conservative with my estimate. But top of C tier. Could be on a discount, B tier. Okay, Sama, or Sama, however you pronounce that. I just have all of their cases bundled into a single tier, or a single icon, because there's just a lot. There's a ton, but if there's one thing in common, I think the build quality on these cases is a bit better than say what DIYPC can offer. And these do come with a lot of pre-included fans, and their prices are very competitive. So for instance, I'm gonna make a build in the ARGB-Q5 soon, and I think I've used this chassis before. It's like a Lian Li 205M, but with no onboard Type-C. But I'm not too concerned about that because this is 60 bucks. It comes with 3 included ARGB fans rather than 2. So Sama overall, it's a good brand for budget PC builders that are making older systems that may not need a Type-C header. So I think these guys might also be really good. I'll put them at the bottom of B tier for now. Yeah, they might. Okay, maybe these Bitfenix cases should be higher. Actually, I'll throw Sama, probably not B tier. I'll put them just above the Montech X3 Mesh. Okay, Silverstone Farah H1M. Let's knock this one out quickly. This case was last ranked in my last case tier list video. It's not good anymore. It's old, the build quality is pretty poopy, it's a small case, doesn't support long graphics cards, and worst of all, no Type-C. And one included case fan for like 70 bucks. It's outdated, it's old, it's on the way out. It's actually kind of like not good. It's kind of like not good. Above the A21. Yeah, no. I don't like it. Okay, all right. We have got to make it through the sea of Thermaltake, Vetru, and Zalman. Thermaltake Versa H18. I used this case like back in 2020. It's 2024, and people are still buying it. Why? There's better budget PC cases for like 50 bucks. Top of F tier. Okay, now some nicer cases from Thermaltake. We have the 3080TG. What caught me off with some of these new Thermaltake cases is their pricing. They're actually not overpriced, and their build quality isn't suffering too much from that. So their 380TG, I saw this at Computex, and what's cool about these new Thermaltake cases coming out are the different colors. You can get this in white, you can get it in black, but now you can get this in a hydrangea blue, or my favorite, this matcha green with a black interior. That looks cool. And 4 included ARGB fans for 100 bucks. That's actually not too bad. The only thing that puts these cases down, because I assume these case fans will do their job, they're Thermaltake fans, is that these fans have proprietary connectors. So if we were to look on the back of this PC case, if it allows us, it might not. Okay, it doesn't, but this does come with, I think, a fan and ARGB header, but it only uses proprietary connectors. So there's no traditional 4-pin PWM fan connector, and there's no 8 RGB connectors for the RGB. They all come in a singular connector, meaning they can really only stay in this PC case, and you kind of have to bring the included fan controller with you anywhere you go. These can't be moved into another PC case, nor could you really sell them unless you also include the fan controller. So that's the only nick, but it's not too much of a nick because the price is really nice, the colors are nice, and the build quality and airflow, I believe, is there. So the 3080TG, it's gonna get a good ranking from me. I think I'm gonna throw this in B tier, below the Aqua 5. Okay, the View 270 Plus TG. This one as well, get this, $80, so $20 less than the View 380. Comes in again 4 different colors, including this really cool matcha green, 3 included fans. Yes, they're proprietary, but for 80 bucks, this is a unique and cool looking PC case. Now also for 80 bucks, you can get the Aqua 5 with 3 included fans, same sort of setup, but it doesn't look as cool as the 270 Plus though. Also the Phanteks Pro Ultra probably offers better cooling performance for 80 bucks, but this also isn't too shabby. I think I will throw this, it's gonna be a B tier case. I think right there. No, Q300Ls, it's so good. Yeah, 270 Plus, I'm fine with that. Now the View 170TG. This is where the praise falls off just a little bit, because if we look at the View 170TG, the 170 chassis is an older chassis, meaning there is, unfortunately, no USB Type-C, but this has the View style though with the dual glass. There aren't any additional colors though. It just comes in white and black for 70 bucks. Unfortunately, the XR is a better value and it has actual fans that don't use proprietary connectors. And there's also no USB Type-C header on the 170TG. So this thing is probably gonna be a C tier, but not super low. Oh no, actually maybe it might be lower because there is no Type-C. I think the 170 is a weak chassis, and unfortunately I used one for a PC build. I think I'm gonna throw this probably above the Jonesbo. Yeah, okay. Now what about the 170 divider? So same chassis, different look though. I did use this in my $700 gaming PC build. It did get the job done. Only 2 included case fans though, kind of disappointing. And again, no Type-C, and it's overpriced actually right now. I don't know, I'm sorry guys. The own case that I used in a recent PC build is actually not that great. D tier is what it's looking like for this PC case. It's probably gonna be, actually you know what, the View 170 might be too high. We're gonna have to change that ranking. I'm probably gonna throw this just above the 205M, and I'm gonna throw the 170TG. It does come with 3 fans, so that is gonna rank a bit higher, and it is cheaper. Oof, I think right here. Yeah. Now the divider 370TG, if you couldn't tell, this 370 chassis is not the most spectacular. This one's just basically a full tower version of the 170, and unfortunately there's no Type-C, and I also fell victim to building in this PC case last year in one of my old $1,500 PC build guides. And for $120, this with no Type-C, unfortunately this is not gonna get the most favorable rating from me, although it does look kind of decent, and unfortunately I did use it in a previous PC build. It's gonna go, oh, It's slipping down a slippery slope, but I don't know. There, bottom of E tier? I'm sorry. I'm telling you guys, I really like if a case has a Type-C header on it, and if it doesn't, it needs to be cheap. So the Series 300, so this one I think does come with a Type-C header, fortunately. Yes, it does, that's good. You also do have the option of potentially adding in a display onto this PC case later down the road if you want. I don't think that's that much of a huge pro for this PC case. I think what makes this case kind of lacking is the fan options for its price. It only comes with 2 120s here in the front that are ARGB, but a single 140 or 120 in the back that's not RGB. My bad, these are both 140s in the front, but I think there's other cases for $85 that do a better job with bringing more to the table. Although this does come in some cool colors that I do want to give a bit of a shout out. So Series 300, this is gonna be a C tier case. Probably gonna chunk this thing above the Series 3, or above the Corsair 3500X. Oh man, I'm going insane, but we are almost to the end of this tier list. Thermaltake Tower 100. Okay, the Tower series is actually cool. This is one of Thermaltake's better case lineups, along with their View TG series. So the Thermaltake Tower 100 retails for about 80 bucks, comes with 2 included non-RGB fans, but that's okay for this kind of a case because the design is very striking. Comes with the Type-C header, an additional USB Type-A header as well for this size of a PC case. And if you want a unique ITX PC case, this is not too bad of a price. Thermally, I don't know how good this performs, but I assume it's probably better than the Corsair 2000D just because there's more space. So I'm probably gonna throw this above the Corsair 2000D. I think it's, yeah, we'll keep climbing. Y40, we'll put it below the Y40. The Tower 100 is pretty neat. Okay, Vetru. I'm not gonna waste too much time on Vetru here because I already know where they're gonna go. But let me just show you what's up with their AL series of cases. Let's start with the cheapest one, the AL700, $85, a single 120 ARGB fan in the back. Kind of depressing if I'm being honest. It kind of needed more fans for this price versus its competitors. The build quality is also, I think, not gonna be too spectacular. I built in a Vetru K5 not too long ago and it was, nah. So I don't know if build quality here is gonna be that great. Airflow should be okay. It's just overpriced. It needs more fans. I think this goes at the bottom of C tier if I'm remembering right. Yeah, bottom of C tier. Now what about the next one? V2 AL800. So this one I think makes a little bit more sense. This is not a dual chamber case. This has a mesh front panel, but why is there only a 120 in the back? Again, like it's just asking for more here in the front. You're gonna have to buy more case fans for this PC case that's already 80 bucks. The case layout though, I think makes a little bit more sense for performance. So we're just gonna put it above the AL700. What about the AL900? So once again, only a single 120 in the back. You do get Project Zero motherboard support here for your motherboard. That's kind of neat. So I'd assume maybe the build quality on this case versus the other two is a bit better because it needs to have extra rigidity for that Project Zero. But again, only 120, nothing really stands out, and it's 90 bucks other than this. Also kind of a bad value, but it is Project Zero ready, so I will put this at the top of the trio. V2 K3. I use this PC case in my latest $1,000 PC build, and I think a lot of people don't like the orange color on here, and once again, there's only one 120 here in the back. This low-key needs like 2 more fans because the Montech XR, this thing is offering 3 fans for a lesser price. This at least has Type-C though. If V2 can have Type-C in their cases, what excuse do some other PC cases have that don't include it? But yeah, the K3, it's not offering a lot. I regret using it for my $1,000 build after making this tier list, but it is a unique looking PC case in orange. So I think I'm gonna throw this, yeah, I'm sorry, bottom of C tier. V2 M05. So I use this in my most recent $600 gaming PC build. This version here with 3 or 4 fans is not the one we're using. We just want the regular standard with 1 fan in the back. 1 fan for 60 bucks is acceptable, but this also comes with Type-C, which is fine, and it comes in different colors. I kind of like the green that I used from my $600 gaming PC build for this PC case, and I think the chassis as well is actually not too bad. You've got a decent amount of headroom there for an AIO like what I found in my PC build. It's a capable budget PC case, just there's others for 60 bucks that are more outstanding than this. So it'll be a C tier, but not as low as the other V2 cases. I'm gonna put it, screw it, I'll put it between the 4000D and the BeQuiet. And we're on to Zalman. Okay, the T3. You know what, it's like almost midnight. I'm gonna have fun with this. I found this out recently. So here's the Zalman T3, $40. But look at that front panel. But there's something even worse. Or I guess it's not worse, I'm sorry. Toasty Bros, they actually shouted out this case directly on Zalman's page here, I think on Amazon. Yeah, look, there's a video. They got their video. I'm actually going insane right now. Okay, for 40 bucks, I think this is a really limiting PC case because that front panel is not gonna let in any airflow whatsoever. I don't care if it's cheap, spend an extra at least $20 and get yourself a decent PC case. T3 is going to go at the, ooh, yeah, right there below Bgears. Zalman P10. Okay, we're getting to the end. This case, just under 60 bucks. Looks cool on paper, but I think it's got one limitation to it. So kind of like the Okinos Aqua 3 that I was talking about before, this case right here. This is one of those dual class PC cases where there's no fans here on the side, and I kind of want that for additional airflow security for extra performance, extra cooling performance into your PC case. And this doesn't quite have it. Now it can support longer graphics cards than the Okinos Aqua 3. And yeah, you could throw in some 120s here on the bottom, but look, I don't think the perforated mesh is as convincing as the Aqua 3. So even though this case is kind of cheap, and let's see, does it support Type-C? It actually does, so wow. I think it's a limiting case though. So even with 120 here in the back, you will have to put in more, and I don't think the airflow layout for this case is that fantastic for future proofing. So although it is cheap, I think I might have to throw this down here in D tier. Probably right there above the Atlas cases, because it is fairly inexpensive. Okay, maybe not, because the airflow is quite limiting. I take that back. Aesthetics aside, I think, yeah, above the DARKROCK, I'll put it there. And finally, oh wow, guys, I actually totally didn't intend for this to happen, but the final case in this tier list video is the case right next to me. That's actually hilarious. This is the Zalman P30. First of all, this case is built well. It is, that's the first thing. I don't think it's super beginner friendly though, because The 3 included ARGB fans that come in this PC case, they don't all connect to a nice little like fan and ARGB controller like what some cases have here, so you have to daisy chain all of them, which is okay, but a fan controller would have been nice. But you do get one USB Type A here, which by my standards in this tier list is a little bit egregious for the price point of $80 for this PC case, but you do also get Type C. But you can get this in this really cool black and white color scheme that is really nice. But this does go to about 80 bucks. The build quality is probably its strongest feature though. Airflow wise, I think it gets the job done. It could be better. P30 is gonna be yet another C tier case, but I'm gonna have to throw it, it's gonna go somewhere here. Right there, I think. Above the Series 300 and below the 2000D. Wow. The final case for this tier list, and easily the longest video we've ever made on this channel, is sitting right next to me. And it happened to be Zalman, Z, alphabetically. Anyways, here's the final, oh! You skipped to the final part of this video, didn't you? Yeah, you didn't want to watch through the whole 2-hour long segment of me going insane, ranking all 90 of these PC cases. And guess what? That is actually okay. Because all I ask is that if you like this video, I'll let you guys view the tier list. I'll unblur it and you guys can view it in its full glory, okay? I'll give you guys 5 seconds. Did you like the video? Okay, great. Nope, you didn't like the video. I'm giving you one more chance. Okay, if you like the video, here is the final ranking of my case tier list. You kind of want to stay away from D and below because I think they're limiting PC cases, they're aging PC cases, or they're overpriced PC cases. But C tier and above is going to keep you well and dandy. But looking at the top here, this is like, it's not the Trinity, I guess the quadrinity, if that's a word, but these 4 right here are the best overall PC cases from this tier list. The Lancool 207 at 80 bucks is unbeatable for its price. The 903 Max offers the most airflow for its price. The HAF 500 might also offer the most airflow for its price, but probably has an even more extreme fan setup than the 903 Max. Just the 903 Max retails for an insanely low price. And the Antec Flux, I think, offers a really good balance between offering a lot of airflow, the same really great cooling DNA from the Flux Pro, but in a cheaper package with a really nice build quality and this little wood trim around the front panel that looks really attractive. Overall, if I had to give out overall awards, I think for this tier list, overall, if I were to give out any like awards to certain brands throughout this tier list, I think the most up and coming brand that could be really good is Okinos. They've got the Aqua 5, Aqua 7, and Aqua 3 ranking decently well, but more importantly, their Cypress 7 and Mirage 6 could be really good PC cases. I just need to check out the build quality for myself. But overall, Antec has made a 180. As you can see, their older PC cases, I didn't like. The build quality and everything else and the pricing is just off. But their new cases, like the C5, and even these like DF700 Fluxes, and especially the Flux, these are way different than their earlier PC cases. So Antec is one to look forward to. Phanteks also produce a strong PC case every now and then. But overall as well, gotta give a shout out to Montech. They are also fantastic. Probably the most bang for your buck in general is gonna come from Montech, like with their XR here, their Sky 2 GX, and their regular Sky 2. And again, they have some really good PC cases coming up in the pipeline. Cooler Master, I gotta give an award for having some of the most unique PC cases that offer a lot of flexibility, like their Qube 500 and their NR200 series. But Antec aside, I think Lian Li still might hold the crown because the 216 is a very good PC case. And the 207 just took that and cut costs by $20 with a new interior PC case layout that is quite a bit revolutionary in this PC space. So yeah, congrats to the Lancool 207 for being #1 in this tier list. So there you have it, that is the tier list. Again, all of the best PC cases from this tier list will be linked in the description below, and I'll say it again. This is a very long video, and if you made it till the end, you can put up with my rambles, and in that case, you should subscribe. And obviously like this video, because it took a long time to make this. So with all of that said, thank you so much for watching, and this is the Scattervolt channel, signing out.